Hello, welcome to Ant Lab Games. I'm your host, Anthony.
And I'm Francis.
Today we're playing
Goblin Vaults.
Goblin Vaults. Goblin Vaults is a card game, a bidding card game to be precise, that takes place in the role player world.
Specifically, in a prison.
Yes.
Yes.
So we are in prison. I guess we're goblins.
Sure.
And we're playing a game called Goblin Vaults.
It's very meta.
Yes, very meta. So there's no money in prison, so we're betting cards as sort of our currency, and we're trying to win these gear tokens that we acquire from the blacksmith in the prison.
Yes, which I'm sure we can trade for all kinds of good things.
Yes, indeed. So take a look at the table. This is the setup. This is a very fast playing card game where players are going to be bidding on cards that are in the block. This is called the block, right? So these three cards, I have a nice close-up here. Well, actually, it's a little bit cut off, but this is the block. And we'll be bidding on each of these cards. There is a card up here called the Warden card. And these are just things that you need to be aware of as we go, right? Yeah. So the setup is simple. 3 cards in the block, 1 card for the Warden. Every player gets 10 cards. And this is set up for a 2-player game. We have I guess you call it an AI, but it's not really an AI.
Yeah, it's Gallifreyan herself. So
Yes.
she actually invented this game in this meta world. And she'll be just kind of clogging up the bidding to give us a little bit more interaction as we're playing.
Exactly. So yes, so she'll be just throwing out bids every round. She's not going to score. This is really between the 2 players, but she just kind of gets in our way, so we're not bidding against each other the whole time. So what is the premise of the game? We are trying to play cards from our hand as bids in order to win cards in the block. Those cards will then go into our tableau, which is called
The Vault.
The Vault, right? So the Vault is, if you can imagine, a 4 across and 3 deep. So 4 by 3, and there's 3 tiers, starting with tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. And each section is called a
chamber.
A chamber, correct. So based on where you place those cards in this vault and what type of cards they are, depending on the objectives of the game, that will determine how many points you score at the end.
Yes, so we're going to score in a couple different ways.
Yes, so why don't you take us through the scoring? Now my handy dandy close-up work.
Yes, it does. So again, like Anthony said, we're going to we have this, ultimately it's going to be 4 by 3 grid, I guess you could say, in our tableau. And we will score for these cards up here, in addition to the position of our cards based on where they're at in that tableau. So our first goal for this game is going to be order. So we are going to score each tier with 4 cards whose values form a sequence. So we're looking for those 4 cards in a single tier to go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6, 7, 8, or whatever, one way or the other. And for each tier that we have that happen, we're going to get 8 points. Second, we have the tome library. So you'll see that each of these cards has a suit. This suit is this suit of tomes. So we'll score each chamber, so each column that has at least 2 of those cards in it. And if we can manage to get a chamber with 3, we'll get even more points. And then finally, we have Gimnax's Reign. So we'll score each chamber, so each row again, in which the highest value card is one of these crown cards here. So we want to get that in the chamber, and we'll get 3 points for that per chamber.
Correct. So you start with one of these main cards, and then you have these objective cards, right? Yeah. So that sort of sets the tone for the scoring of the game. And they're variable. They're double-sided, so there's different objectives each way, so there's a lot of variability in that in itself. So that's the basic setup for 2 players, right? We have our 10 cards. We have the AI player set up with their own deck of 10 cards. Now, the first thing we do before we jump into the game is we go through our hand, and we're going to take one of our cards and seed it into our vault. So this is the first card for the vault. So you want to keep an eye on what we're actually going for objective-wise. Another thing to note is the card, that's the Warden card that we talked about up here, is the trump. So that is the wild card, and that can be changed throughout the game. So as we bid, you're bidding for higher numbers where suit doesn't matter unless it's the trump.
Right, exactly.
So keep that in mind.
Okay. So I am going to start. Now again, the way building your tableau works, again, there's 3 tiers. And you can consider kind of all these spots sort of open. But you can only build from top to bottom. So from tier 1, which is, I'm looking at where we're at here.
Right
so
about
I should
there.
be right about there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll line it up.
So we're going to have these tier 1 cards, put out first. And then we can build on top of them. As long as we have a card in that tier 1, you can build tier 2, and then you can build tier 3.
Yep.
And you'll notice that each of these cards on the upper right has an indication of where that card wants to be, you could say, for scoring purposes. So at the end of the game, we're going to score points for tier 1 cards that are in tier 1, tier 2 cards that are in tier 2, and then the most points for tier 3 cards.
You get additional points for this.
As well as something kind of tricky to think about.
Matching your faction symbol, right?
Yes.
So each of us has a separate faction. If you notice, I'm the blue faction.
Yes,
she's the yellow faction.
The Dragools.
The Dragools. So we are going for those symbols as well in our vault because we'll be getting additional points there. So that's the first thing we do with setup, and that's the last thing we do now. We're going to go through a series of 9 rounds. This goes really quickly. We're just going to do scheming where in turn order, well, you're player 1 right now, we're going to each bid on a card. That always starts with Golnax. Is that the goal? Is that her name?
Golnax.
Golmax. It always starts with her. She's going to put a card out. She's going to bid. And then we are going to begin our bidding, starting with player 1.
Glavron.
Glavron.
We've been playing a lot of role player.
Yes. So basically, you put the card on whichever one of these 3 you want to bid on, and then once all 3 of us bid, we'll do the vault phase where we collect our winnings, put them in the vault, and then we go to the warden phase, so whoever's player 1 gets to actually decide if they want to move the warden card into the block, and then move one of these cards back to the warden chamber.
Right.
So that's it. That's every round. So basically, we start out with the first card played. Now, these cards, they will show you, if you look at the bottom of the card, you'll see that there's a 1, 2, and a 3. In this case, this card is a 1. So this card will be played in the 1 column of the block, and then we'll put her symbol on it. So that's her bid. Her bid is a 4. So she's going, now when you bid, you're bidding for that card, not the card you bid with.
Yes.
It's the card in the block.
Yeah, so then there's a couple of things that you want to keep in mind too. So this warden card is, did you already explain that this is also a trump suit?
It did.
Right, okay. I was not paying attention.
Okay. Yeah, you were looking at your cards. I know.
Okay, so we're paying attention to that to see if it's trump, and we're also paying attention to that icon to see if we can take an additional warden action. Okay, great. And I'm first player because I look most like a goblin.
I agree.
According to the rules.
I concur.
You concur. Okay, great. I will play this card. It's like just pains my brain already.
We haven't even played cards yet. She's
I know.
Stumped.
So bad, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, I will go here.
Oh,
sure.
Exciting. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bid here. Okay. Now, since this is trump, I don't have to beat her 4. I win. Trump is that card, and I played the potion. So I win that one, right? Yep. This one didn't get a bid, so that's actually going to get a gear on it because nobody bid on that card. So it'll be a bonus for somebody to grab it a later turn. And then we just go in results. This is the vault phase. So because I won, I'm going to actually get the card, and I have to put it in my vault.
Yes.
Right, and then my card that I bid with goes into the block.
Hers comes off.
Hers comes off, and she actually would win that card. So you can see that if you lose the bid, you take the card you played. So there's
some strategy to that actually to underbidding, yeah. But of course you're limited when you underbid because you have to put these gears on.
It'll cost you a gear to do
we'll
that.
Show how that works later. So then I get this.
There you go.
I get this. This comes up here.
Yep.
Great.
Your bid goes up.
Oops.
You put your 8 in
my section here.
In your vault.
Yep. There we go.
And that's the vault phase, and then you do warden. So the first player gets to decide if they want to exchange this with any one of the cards here.
I mean, I'm sorry?
No,
yes?
I was just clearing my throat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I'll switch it out for this guy.
Okay. Also note,
yes.
And one thing we should point out is if you play a card and the faction symbol matches the symbol, the faction symbol.
Did you already say this?
I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. I didn't explain this part. If it matches the faction symbol on the warden card, you get to do a warden action.
Right.
Which allows you to rearrange one of the cards in your vault, or draw a new card with and exchange it from one. You're exchanging it from one of the cards in your hand. I don't think we covered that.
I asked if we covered that.
Oh no, I covered. No, you asked me if we covered what the trump was.
Yeah.
You said, did you cover the warden card? I said, yes. You said that is
very important pieces.
There's two pieces to the warden card, so I think you've heard it all now. So
all right, draw her card.
All right, so I'm player one now. That's what changes, and we're on to the next round. So she plays. She is going back to the 1.
Okay.
So she's bidding the lowest possible card. All right, so she's going for that 4, huh? But we still have trump being the potions.
Trump is potions. Dragon, or I guess
first.
It's like a lizard snake thing.
So I go first, right? I will go. I'll bid this 10 here. Now, since I played, that's it. No, that's fine. Actually, I don't know if I want to play that one. Hold on.
Okay.
No, I do. I want to play that one.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I can't play anything higher than 10. Oh, actually, I can.
You can trumpet.
I can trumpet. Dun da da da. Oh, it's been a long day.
All right. So so she wins her card. Yay! That slides up. You win the bet because you played the trump card. So
this nobody bid on this, right?
No, so it gets
That's
yet another one. You bid on this, so you win that card.
Yes.
Your card goes in the top, and I get this 10 to put in my tableau, which doesn't really help with anything I want to do here. I'll put it here. Okay. Warden. Yeah, I want to get rid of that, so. I don't like these cards at all. I'm going to swap this for this. Okay, your turn.
All right.
So he comes out. He's got the 1 again. He keeps bidding this.
He
left.
like really wants that
she.
left. She, yeah.
All right. Now trump is the coin now.
Oh, interesting. I can't do what I necessarily wanted to do. Guess I'll do. I'm like trying to. Ugh. It's like the feeling is okay. Here's the thing: the strategy of this game is that you want the cards from your hand to go into your tableau, but you have to toss them out into the freaking block first, so they could get eaten up by other players. It's not good.
She doesn't like to play any cards in this game. It's so difficult. They're like, come on, you've got like 8 cards to choose from.
It's tricky. All right, do that.
All right, so you just.
Oh no, actually.
No, you played trump.
That's
you're
a trump.
Winning. So you're gonna win that card.
Yeah.
I hope that's what you want.
I'll take it. It's fine.
Really? All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna like go here, right?
Okay.
And because I played a card that matches
Yes.
that faction symbol, I get to immediately take a faction action, and I can move one of my cards. So I'm going to take this card and move it over one.
Okay.
And that's
very good.
action. So you won. You get that.
Yeah, put a thing on here before we forget.
Oh, yeah. That one didn't get played, right?
Yep.
You won. Your card goes up top.
That comes
She
back.
gets that one. I actually win this card with
With
all
all
the
the
chips
tokens.
on it. And these are victory points. So.
Yeah. Yep.
Not
They sure are.
that I love this card, but it's kind of whatever.
It'll do.
I'll just throw it here for the time.
Okay.
The time being. All right, so as Warden, you just passed me this, right?
I don't remember.
No, because
No.
you changed. You changed
I didn't
that.
change that.
Oh, I did.
You did.
So it was your
It
turn.
was my turn. It was
Yeah,
my go
so-
first. But I'm not changing anything.
You're gonna
I'm
keep
just
it?
Gonna keep it the way it is. It's
So
fine.
be it. So be it. All right, she's going again in the left
Really?
column. I've never seen this. All right, I get the first play here.
Yeah, it's
I
very
don't really love a lot of these cards, but oof. Okay, so I'll play this here. Oh, you trumped him again?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so this one didn't get a bid. This poor guy, he just keeps
outbid
getting
him.
his cards.
So bad. I needed that though.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
You got it. All right, so I'm taking this card here, and I will slide this maybe like right there. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Do I want to swap it a trump? Eek. Yeah, let's swap the trump. Let's swap the trump. All right, we're gonna swap these two. Now these stay in this slot. They don't go with the card. There you go. All right. Now Glav run is going.
Okay.
And let's see. She's going to the third column now.
Finally.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to play my card, which is...
Is it my turn? You didn't switch that back to me. Didn't you just switch these? Warden action and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah, okay. So you go ahead.
Fast, mister.
It's okay.
It is okay. Okay, let's do that.
Okay, so then I'll just play... play the trump card here. Boom! And we all bid. So now she actually took this card. They all got bid on.
I think these actually stay on here.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. I just double checked.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, it says gear tokens on those cards remain on those cards during
Oh,
the
they
swap.
do?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought so. I just wanted to check.
That's fair. You get that.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. She gets that.
You get that.
All right,
I
get
get you in
now
your
I
stack
guess.
of tokens.
So go before you hand me this. Why don't you make the warden decision and then hand it over to me,
Oh, okay.
so that we're kind of proper, because I keep it.
So we're doing things properly.
Yeah, I think it's probably best so that folks
Okay.
at home can follow along.
Yeah, I like to make people really confused.
Yeah.
I'll just keep it. I really am fine with where everything is.
Okay, that's fair. So here we go. Onward. All right, she's bidding the middle. I get first bid, huh?
Mm-hmm.
this is troubling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna bid. I'm gonna outbid her this time.
Okay. I'm gonna go here.
Okay, so this is gonna get that.
Okay.
You get your 6. That slides up. She gets her card. I take the 5. I'll put that here. Do I want to change? No. But I think I will actually. I'm going to change it for this 6. Okay. Now you get that. She plays there.
Interesting. Okay. So I'll do that.
Ooh. Wowie wow. Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to go here.
Okay.
And I'm going to underbid. So this is the first underbid you're seeing. So I'm dropping under hit her bid.
Yeah.
So I have to put a gear on her card. That's the cost of doing that. And I'll show you why I did that in a second. So you win this.
Yep.
This didn't get a bid, so it's going to get a gear. She won, so she's getting this. She doesn't get the gears because she doesn't count points. But her card's going to go up top now. And I'm going to get my card.
Yep.
So that's why you would underbid. Put that right there. So you're player 1 still?
Yeah.
Do you wish? Oh, sorry. I actually played the symbol.
Oh, you did.
So I'm just going to do a swap of cards.
Okay.
Real quick. It's not.
So you're going to get rid of a card and
I'm going
draw
to get rid of
another
a
one.
card. Yeah. So put it on the bottom of the deck. Draw a card. Okay. That's it.
Okay.
Did you want to change? Draw?
No.
Okay.
I'm fine. Here.
It's to me. We're only 2 cards left, folks.
I know.
And we have the 3. She's bidding. She's going for all the gears.
all the tokens.
Okay. So I'm gonna go here. That's a trump card.
Okay. And I will go here.
Okay. So I win the 7. I'll put that here. You win that in the tokens. She wins the 9 in the tokens. She takes all the tokens. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to swap these 2.
Why would you go do that now?
Why? There's reasons. I have my reasons.
What
All right.
reasons?
Last card, folks. She's going in row 2.
That sucks. Because I'm holding a Trump suit.
Are you? Are you though?
That I don't want to win any of this stuff.
Oh, well, you got to win something,
I
right?
don't want to win any of that stuff.
So you wanted to underbid somebody?
I wanted to underbid so I could get my card. Or I wanted that card. You got rid of it.
Yeah.
That's no bueno. That stinks.
My intention to get rid of it wasn't to drop the trump or move the book card out.
Right.
That had
I'll
nothing
just
to
do
do
this.
with it.
Yeah.
Because you want your card.
I
Obviously,
do,
you want
but
that
yeah.
card.
Yeah.
I'm not playing this for a card in particular. So it really doesn't matter. The reason I'm playing this card was for the snake symbol, because I wanted the action. So I can move this card to the back of this row. You can move one card anywhere.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Well, you can move it anywhere where it has a card above it.
Exactly.
So like you can't move something to the 3rd tier if there's not a second or first tier above it.
So everybody won a card.
Yep.
Yay.
Let me just put this guy here.
She won that, so she's done. And I won that.
Oh, you know what I'll do? I matched. Oh, no, I won't do that. Never mind. I was going to move stuff, but I'm not going to.
I don't know. That was a lot of words.
It was a lot of words.
A lot of words. Okay, I'll just throw that here. It doesn't really matter.
Okay,
Okay, so that is it, folks. We
are
are
out of
done.
cards.
Our vaults are full. We can get rid of that.
Well, almost full.
Almost full, right? So if you look, take a look at the vaults. So you've got her vault there. You've got my vault over here.
Yes.
If you want to like examine that. Boom.
Well, let's get our handy dandy score pad out.
Yeah, so we do have a handy dandy score pad. We'll put that right here on the table.
And we'll just go A, F. All right, so first we're going to count our gears. I think we both have 4. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to check scoring of our tiers. So again, any tier 1 cards in the tier 1 row will score 1 point. Tier 2 cards in a
Correct.
tier 2 row will
So
score 2 points, and 3 and 3.
Look at yours
so
real quick.
I think I did pretty well in this, actually. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4,
Wow.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
That's
16.
massive points.
That never happens.
No, never. I don't think I got any points. I did. I got 2. None of my cards wanted to be where they belonged.
Yes. Yeah.
So there was nothing I could have done about that.
Next, we are going to score for our factions. So I am this like dragon head. So we're going to get 2 points per faction icon. So I've got 2, 4 for me.
And I've got 2, 4, 6 points in swords.
Okay. Our orders. So tiers with 4 cards whose values form a sequence. Did you get yours?
I did.
You
10,
have
9,
one.
8, 7. I have 1.
So 8 per tier. You're going to get 8. I have 2.
Wow.
3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Wow, that's very good.
Tome library. I didn't get any of these.
All right, so you
You
don't have
won.
any tome. I've got 1 of 3.
With 9.
That's 9
with
points.
9 points.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, chambers with crowns as the highest. It looks like you have 2.
2.
So you're going to get 6 for that.
6 more points.
And I have 2 as well. So I get 6 for that as well.
Yep.
All right.
So,
Ooh,
that,
ouch.
well,
I
that is
stabbed myself
it.
with this
So
mechanical
if we look
pencil.
at the math here, it's like 4, it's 10, 29, 35.
Okay.
And you've got 20, 46.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, that was big. So that 16
killed it on
points
those.
crushed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
right there.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
All right, let's go talk about
All
it.
right.
All right, folks, there you have it. That is
Goblin
Goblin
Vaults.
Vaults.
Yes.
So, as we promised, it was pretty fast playing. It should have been a fast play.
Yes.
And what are your thoughts on this one?
The more I play this game, the more I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because it's funny when you first play it, you're trying to figure out the strategy because mechanically it's easy to understand what needs to happen, but you're kind of paralyzed by like, what's the best move? Like, what is my game plan here?
Right.
So once you kind of realize that obviously you can kind of work with what's in your hand, right?
Yeah.
You can work with what's coming out in the block, but what's coming out in the block is going to be populated by what's in your hands.
Right.
So you throw stuff out. You hope that you can get it back into your own tableau, right? And of course, you manage that with the bidding. But you're trying to manage, like, you can't do everything.
No.
And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, you don't have 12 cards
Yep.
out. So you're never going to be able to do everything. And even towards the end, I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll move this 6 over because I want to score the tome library. But then you're sacrificing the order.
Yes,
so
exactly.
And this whole getting the cards in the proper tiers is really out of the ordinary, I think, for both of us. So the fact that I was able to do that is cool, but I was lucky a little bit because I got the cards that I needed and I was able to get them in the right order. But
you did for sure.
yeah, but it's just neat. Like it kind of it plays the same every time as you would expect, but you can also introduce a lot of variability through the
To the objectives,
all
right?
the objectives.
Yeah, so you've got these goal cards, right? So you've got your main goal card or your basic goal card, which is like what we played was this order card, right? So there's order and in the back there's chaos. So there's 2 different uses for this one particular card.
Yeah.
You also have additional cards as well with the game. There are the suit cards, which you saw. There are these ones that match the suits of all the different cards. There's 2 on the table. Again, they're double-sided as well. So you've got a lot of interesting decisions there. There are all of the additional suits that we played with, right?
Yes.
So we played with 4 of the suits in the game. There are 2 other ones. Yeah, here's another one of the goal cards, right? The common goals, so cluster and collection. So they're all like kind of like telling you, so like those common goal cards are like how they want you to arrange your vault. And then the suit gold cards are what you should do with 2 of the suits. So when you set the game up, you draw 4 random suit cards. Well, you draw 4 random suit gold cards.
Right.
And then of those, you'd pick 2 of them. And then you choose 4 suits.
Yes.
Right? As long as 2 of those suits match those.
That you're playing, obviously.
I think that's how you do it. Something to that degree. But in any case, you're going to have 4 suits out in the deck, and you're going to have 2 suit goals. Now, you could up that.
Yes.
There's an advanced setup for a more complex game where you add additional suit goal cards to a max of 1 matching goal for each suit in play. So we could have technically had 4 suits.
Right.
Which would have been...
Which would have been like crazy.
Yeah, mind blown there.
Yeah.
Too much.
So, and it's neat. I really... Well, first of all, again, on kind of the mechanics, right? At first, I was a little bit like, oh, it's a bidding game. Is that going to work for us? Because we always say we don't like bidding games, but I think we have come to the realization that we do enjoy bidding games, but they don't always play well with 2.
Correct.
So I was refreshed to see that the bidding in this is pretty mild. It's not like a push your luck style, like I'm bidding on your stuff and you're bidding on my stuff that gets kind of boring and stale. This is like, it's a mechanic because it needs to be. And then for me, the real game is in the puzzle of arranging everything.
Yeah.
So, and kind of like hedging your bet a little bit. Like there were times where like I would play a card from my hand that I was like, okay, this is a card that if I get it back, I know I have a place for it.
Yep.
But I would really like to get this other card and then hope that I can get the card that I'm playing again in the future. So like you have to kind of
There's pressure luck for sure.
There's pressure luck, but it's like also pressure planning in a way. Like it's kind of cool. So, and I think that if you enjoy like even tile placement games that score based on proximity and things like that, you'll probably enjoy this as well.
Oh, yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Second thing I wanted to say that I enjoy about it is just that it is this kind of like meta universe game. So I love these where you're playing like, you're playing a game that is part of the novel, you know what I mean? Or it's part of the game universe.
Yep.
And we've played a few like this where it's like, oh, we're like the characters in the
Characters
adventure.
in the game playing the game, right? So those are always pretty cool.
Because the world is all over this.
Oh, yeah,
so like you're seeing like Gimnax's reign, and we're like, oh, there was a story about Gimnax, and he did this whole adventure. And so if you like the role player universe, and if you do like the adventures and things like that, then you'll feel like this is actually part of like your adventure in a way.
Right. It's part of your role player world collection.
Yeah.
Right. So as you have if you have the adventure set, you've got role player itself, the original, or any like cartographers, like all those things. This is just another piece of that world, but a much lighter, quicker, faster playing piece where you can like, all right, let's do a little warm up game here before we get into our adventure, or let's take a break from the adventure and let's go ahead and play a little bit of this bidding game.
And you don't need to know the world.
You don't have to, but I think
it's a little bit.
You always sweeter. Enjoy these games more if they're, especially those that are part of an IP that you enjoy a lot already, right? So it's always nice to have. So yeah, I agree. I like this one a lot. I was also worried at the beginning because of the betting, but it's done in such a way that it doesn't feel like betting at all. It feels like you're playing. It's like you're playing cards, like a trick-taking game almost.
I was going to say it's more trick-taking.
It gives you that feel of trumping or playing a higher card.
Right.
Because
the thing is, you're not betting with your money.
Right.
Like you're not giving up points necessarily as you're betting. You're using the cards in your hand for their values. More in a trick-taking style.
Exactly. So really cool. So that about wraps it up. You should be seeing this game. I think you can pre-order the game in a couple of weeks. From when we published this video. I think it's early February, with delivery of the game coming a few days after that, from our understanding. But so it's not something you're going to have to wait a long time for.
Right.
From what I said, it's just a matter of pre-ordering it.
We like that.
Oh yeah, definitely like games that you can get your hands on quickly. So that's about it. If you're going to see links to all of that stuff in the notes for the video below. If you like what we're doing and you want to support us at Ant Lab Games, you can go ahead and back us on Patreon.
Yeah.
And get to see a lot of our behind the scenes stuff and get in some of our giveaways, all that good stuff. We do a lot of fun stuff there. If that's not your interest, but you just want to be part of our community, come join us on Discord. We really push the Discord server because that's where all of the magic happens on Discord. There's so much,
lots of good conversation.
So much conversation about board games on the Discord. It's become its own entity, really, that we're just part of, and I think it's a wonderful thing to have. So links again are below. But otherwise, anything else I missed?
Always let us know what you thought of the game. If this is something you think you'll be picking up, if you have any questions about our experience with it, I'd leave those in the comments as well. We like to engage with you there too.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you.